Gato Roboto is a great example of doing a lot with very little. This pixelated lo-fi style game hides a pretty great Metroidvania with some amazing movement tech that I think speedrunners will really enjoy. But the story is that we play as the pilot and his lovely little cat here, who find themselves stranded in a mysterious space station with everything trying to kill them. With a pilot to dispose of, it's up to our cat here to don a mech suit and go exploring and doing all that lovely Metroidvania stuff that we all know and love. But the general play of the game is kept very streamlined. There are 4 areas, not including kind of the opening tutorial. Each area has its own objective and kind of little twists on the formula. Here we're in kind of a fire area, so it's just too hot for our cat to be outside the suit. And each area will change this along the way. Your main weapon includes a blaster, as you can see, as well as a missile. And the missile charges on the left-hand side. Now, what makes this game kind of very interesting is that there's a lot in terms of movement tech that the game hints at, but for the most part doesn't really fill you in on. For instance, your missile can be used to kind of propel you in the opposite direction, and at the start is used as a pseudo double jump. You'll eventually gain the ability to do this kind of spin jump, which also acts as resetting your jump when you land on an enemy. And this is a great example of a minimalistic Metroidvania in that regard, that it hits all the beats that we see in larger titles, but is kept very short. I think if you're not going for 100%, you can probably beat Gato Roboto in about, 2 hours, maybe give or take, if you get stuck at a few sections. And it also doesn't leave us with a lot to talk about, or for me to really nitpick the design on. But as you play through, there's also MacGuffins you can find in the form of cartridges, which unlock new palettes. But for me, whenever I play games like this, similar to Downwell, I just keep the black and white one because I think it's the easiest on the eyes. But with that said, we're going to switch a little bit further ahead and we'll talk a little bit more about the design of the game. But first, a quick shout out to our current Game Wisdom sponsors and Patreon supporters. And now for a quick thank you to our current Game Wisdom sponsors and Patreon supporters. And if you'd like to continue the discussion on game design, be sure to check out our Discord channel, linked down below. A main reason why I enjoy Gato Roboto is that the movement and general moment-to-moment gameplay just feels right. And this is further exemplified by the various abilities and upgrades that you get in the game. Each one does a suitable job of changing how you play through it, and in turn further gives you more options and just allowing you to get around the world a lot better. If I had any nitpicks about the game besides the fact that it is on the short side, is that you do run into a few difficulty spikes here and there. For areas where you are outside the mech suit, your cat will die in a single hit, and this comes into play in one area of the game. Also, the boss fights can be on the moderately difficult side, and are a noticeable increase in difficulty compared to the movement tech focus that exists outside of them. You can find health tanks and upgrades, but they are very light in Gato Roboto, which is kind of the MO. This is not meant to be a 10 to 20 hour plus game. It's just a very distilled take on Metroidvania. And for that, I really liked it. But with that said, to wrap up the video here, if you're looking for another take on Metroidvania design, probably a really good one to study in terms of the general flow and design that works, I would say give this one a check. If you are looking for something that has more of the RPG and greater depth to it, then there's of course Bloodstain that came out this year as well. But with that said, thank you for watching this video. Be sure to come back for daily discussions on game design here and on Game Wisdom, where is in the art and science of games. And if you're a developer working on your own game in the future, please don't hesitate to get in touch, as we're always looking for new games to cover and developers to talk to on the channel. But once again, this has been Gato Roboto, and until our next video, have a great night. If you're looking for more wisdom about game design, be sure to check out my latest offering of books, 20 Essential Games to Study, aimed for first-time developers and students looking for some inspiration for their upcoming games, and Game Design Deep Dive Platformers if you're interested in anything regarding 2D and 3D platforming design. They're both available in print, digital, and wherever books are being sold. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoy things, be sure to do all the liking and subscribing that the kids are doing these days. Check out our Discord channel link down below where we hang out and chat game design, and come back later tonight for our regular streamings. But that's it, and tune in for more great content here and on Game Wisdom, where we examine the art and science of games.